Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I drink? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
Greetings viewers and subscribers. First up, we are sending birthday greetings to two queens named Pamela today. Pamela, you celebrated your birthday yesterday. Hancho, he had asked us to wish you a happy birthday. He's saying that you are a caring, amazing, dedicated and wonderful person, and he loves you to the moon and back. Let's hope that yesterday you had a wonderful birthday and may you live to see a whole heap more. The second queen is that Pamela on your screen. She's the mother of Errol McDonald, also known as Jerky, who met his demise at the hands of Hoodlums. Pamela, it's gonna be touching, but I have to do it. You remember me playing a voice note by Jerky wishing Tracy a happy birthday earlier this week? Well, here is Jerky telling me to wish his mother, Pamela, a happy birthday, and he sent me this voice note last year. Listen to this.
Bye. My Pamela birthday, so more you send you over to me as usual. His son Fabian and his son Errol, husband Gat, granddaughter Tiana, other relatives and friends. So you don't know anything set already.
Pamela, me know say it rough, but let's hope that today you will try and have a wonderful birthday and may you live to see a whole heap more. No, yesterday we didn't carry any news because let me tell you something, Sometimes we have to rest the brain. Remember me tell you, the mayhem, boy me I tell you, you see the mayhem, if me not turn up strong, sometimes when I read some of these stories, remember me tell you. Anyhow, in the news today, this one took place Thursday morning, November 30, about 9 o'clock. It took place at a place named Delvland in the parish of Westmoreland. We are learning that fire completely destroyed two houses, a 2-apartment and a 4-apartment house. Our information is that fire was seen coming from one of the houses, which quickly spread to the other house. In quick time, the houses and all their contents were completely destroyed by fire. We are also getting unconfirmed reports that the fire was set by a young man who is a member of the family. Sad indeed. And talking about sad indeed, a lady, her name is Miss Violet Reid, but she was popularly known as Miss Vi. Miss Vi was born on September 4, 1930, 93 years old. She lived alone in a 5-apartment house at Cold Spring in the Cornwall Mountain area of Westmoreland. About 10:30, Thursday night, November 30, one of Miss Vi's son, who is living in another house in the same yard, he was awoken by loud popping sounds coming from his mother's house. He went to investigate and he saw fire coming from a section of her house. An alarm was raised and efforts were made to put out the blaze, but that proved futile. The Betheltown Police and the fire department, they were contacted, and on their arrival, the house was seen completely engulfed in flames. The fire personnel, they were only able to do cooling down operation. When they were done, the charred remains of 93-year-old Miss Violet Reid, also known as Miss Vi, was found among the rubble. Sad indeed. We are told that an investigation is being done to ascertain what could have caused this fire. Sad indeed. Now, hoodlums are on the rampage in the parish of Westmoreland. On Thursday afternoon, November 30, about 4 o'clock, 3 motorcycles with 6 hoodlums aboard, they rode up and stopped at a grocery shop at Burn Savannah in the parish of Westmoreland. 3 hoodlums came off the bikes and juked down the female shopkeeper who is in her late 50s. They proceeded to rob the shopkeeper of cash amounting to almost 200,000 Jamaican dollars, a quantity of phone cards, lighters, and a carton of cigarettes. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape on the bikes. Yesterday afternoon, Friday, December 1, about 12:15, a silver Toyota Voxy drove up and stopped at the Red Sun supermarket in the town of Negril in the parish of Westmoreland. 4 hoodlums, armed with rifles and handguns, they came out of the Voxy and entered the supermarket. The hoodlums, they took down the operator of the supermarket and robbed him of cash amounting to over 50,000 Jamaican dollars, as also a quantity of top shelf liquor valued at over 200,000 Jamaican dollars. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape in the said Toyota Voxy. About 20 minutes later, a 34-year-old man employed to the Excelsior Biscuit Company. He was driving one of the Excelsior Biscuit trucks delivering goods. The driver, he stopped at a shop operated by a lady in her mid-50s at Goodhope in the parish of Westmoreland, and he was about to deliver goods to the shop when a silver Toyota Voxy, suspected to be the one involved in the robbery at Negril, drove up and stopped. 5 hoodlums, armed with high-powered weapons and handguns, jumped out of the Voxy and juked down the driver for the Excelsior Biscuit truck. They then ordered him to go inside the shop and robbed him of cash amounting to over 100,000 Jamaican dollars. They also robbed from the shop cash of over 25,000 Jamaican dollars. Hear this now, hear this. A man in his mid-30s. He was driving his grey Honda motorcar along the Goodhope main road towards Negril. The man, he realized what was happening and him hold a reverse. One of the hoodlums saw the man reversing and opened a barrage of gunshots at him, damaging the front windscreen and the back seat of the car. Luckily, the man was not hurt. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. Boy, may I tell you. Boy, may I tell you. Now, this next incident, it took place at a community named Bark in Lucy in the parish of Hanover. It took place early Wednesday morning, November 29, about 12:30. We are learning that a man in his early 30s, he's said to be a fisherman and a bike taxi operator. He's also living in the parish of Hanover. Our information is that the man, he had dropped off a female and he was heading back out of the area. He was driving his burgundy Cobra motorcycle along the Bark main road when, on reaching a section of the roadway, he saw 2 guys standing at the side of the road. One of them had a gun in his hand. The bike rider, him think fast and him jump off the bike and ran into bushes. The hoodlum opened gunfire at the guy, hitting him to his left leg. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. The guy who was shot, he hid in bushes until the police arrived. The gas tank and the bike was also damaged by bullets. The injured man, he was taken by the police to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 2 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. Now, this next incident, it took place Thursday night, about a few minutes to 10 o'clock. It took place at a bar at Namprel Road in the Negril area of Westmoreland. Our information is that a group of persons were in the bar when a motorcycle with 2 hoodlums aboard drove up and stopped. The pillion, he jumped off the bike, pulled a gun and opened gunfire at the persons inside the bar. The persons in the bar, they ran off in various directions. The hoodlums, they then rode away on the same motorcycle, making good their escape. It was then realized that 3 persons in the bar, they were shot. A 35-year-old female, she received a gunshot wound to her right thigh. A 32-year-old man, he received a gunshot wound to his left leg. And a 34-year-old man, he received gunshot wounds to his left thigh and his right leg. They were rushed to a nearby hospital where they were treated and admitted. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, a total of 15 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. Now, this hoodlum, he was not shooting at legs and he fired over 15 bullets. So this could have easily been a triple murder. The mayhem. Now, in this next story, the Portmore police, they are awaiting the result of a postmortem to ascertain how a female died. Her name is Monique Clark. She was born on July 8, 1989, 34 years old. She lived at Sunflower Drive in the Hamilton Gardens area of St. Catherine. Our information is that Monique, she suffered from a bipolar disorder and she has been seeing a doctor on a regular basis. We are told that Monique, she was last seen alive by a neighbor on Tuesday morning about 8 o'clock at her home. On Thursday morning, November 30, about a few minutes after 8 o'clock, neighbors smelled a foul odor coming from Monique's house. When they made checks, they saw blood running under the door from inside Monique's house. The police, they were called, and when they made checks, the partially decomposed body of Monique was seen in the house, laying on the floor on her right side. She was fully clothed and bleeding. Monique appeared to have died at least 36 hours before she was found. Like I said, a postmortem examination will be done to ascertain the cause of death. In this next story, if you look on your screen, that missing person flyer was sent out by deputies in the North Naples area of Florida in the United States of America on Thursday of this week. The man on the flyer is Dwaine Thompson. He is 45 years old and he lived at La Costa Circle in the North Naples area. Radley, he was last seen alive at his home on Tuesday afternoon. The flyer went on to read, "Deputies are concerned about his safety." Now, I did some digging and this is what I found out. Radley is from Hopewell in the parish of Hanover. We also found out that Radley, he was married and had a family at Hopewell in Hanover. Now, I'm not going to say much more on that, but Radley, he filed for divorce in February of this year. There was a dissolution of that marriage. In June of this year, a female at Mackinac Island in Michigan obtained a marriage license in hers and Radley's name. Now, I'm not sure whether or not Radley and the female got married, but on Thursday, deputies posted Radley missing. The news coming out of North Naples is that yesterday morning, Friday, December 1, in the early morning, Radley's body was found in a lake at the La Costa Apartments of Pine Ridge Road and La Costa Circle in the Collier County of North Naples in Florida. Deputies are reporting that Radley's death does not appear to be suspicious at this time. I'm not going to speculate, but as soon as we get more information, I will be updating this story. Sad indeed. And talking about drowning. In this next story, we are told that those 2 males on your screen, the one to your left, he's called Bryan. He's about 17 years old. And the one to your right, he's called Jahfet. He's about 13 years old. They are from Montego Bay in St. James. From time to time, we are told that both Jahfet and Bryan, they would go to the one-man beach along Jimmy Cliff Boulevard in Montego Bay to swim. We are told that the vendors at the one-man beach, they always warn both Jahfet and Bryan, telling them that a section of the water is very deep and they should not go swim there. We are told that the two of them, both Jahfet and Bryan, them tell the vendors no ends a bad word, telling them to mind their own business. So the vendors, they mind their own business and left them alone. Yesterday morning, Friday, December 1, about 11:30, the body of Bryan was seen face down and floating in the water. The Marine Police, they were informed and they went to retrieve Bryan's body. While the police were taking out Bryan's body, who was dressed only in a red underpants, they saw the body of Jahfet floating in the sea at another section among stones. Jahfet, he was dressed in a red underpants with a black goggles over his eyes. Both of them, who are suspected to have drowned sometime before they were found, they were taken from the water. We are told that no marks of violence was observed on their bodies. The police, they are not suspecting any foul play, but a post-mortem will be done to ascertain the cause of death. You ever hear your grandmother or some old people, you ever hear them say, "Cow won't hear woe"? Finish it for me. Boy, may I tell you, sad indeed. In this next story, this one took place Thursday night, November 30, about 9:30. It took place at a yard along the Gregory Park main road in the Portmore area of St. Catherine. Our information is that 4 guys were playing domino in the yard. One of them, his name is Gary Grant, but he was popularly known as Gilly. Gilly is 50 years old and he was a taxi driver. We are told that he lived in the same area. While they were there playing dominoes, 2 hoodlums entered the yard and shouted, "Police!" The hoodlums, they then ordered the men to lie face down on the ground. The hoodlums, they then took Gilly to a section of the yard and told him to kneel down. Gilly complied and the hoodlums executed him. He received several gunshot wounds to his head and his upper body. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape on foot in the area. The police, they were called, and when they arrived on the scene, Gilly, he was seen lying on his back in a pool of blood. He appeared to have died on the spot. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, a number of 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Now, before I go into the final story for today, a 34-year-old music producer named Shavai McDonald from Green Pond in St. James, he was shot and killed in the Portmore area last night. A 55-year-old food vendor named Owen James from Mafuta, also in the parish of St. James, he was shot and killed at the Savannah Lamar Market early this morning, and a 43-year-old man named Marlon, he was shot and killed in the Nampel Road area of Westmoreland about 11 o'clock this morning. I am working on those stories and will be bringing them to you in a subsequent video. Stand by for that. But in the final story for today, now, there has been ongoing mayhem being committed in the DlES and surrounding areas of Hanover. And trust me when I tell you, these are some of these mayhem. They are related. This is the latest one. That guy on your screen. His name is Kemarley Campbell. February 19, coming up, Kemarley will be celebrating his 31st birthday. We are told that Kemarley, he was a bike taxi operator and he lived at Recreation District in the Blenheim area of Hanover. Our information is that Kemarley and other persons, they were inside a shop playing video games when a hoodlum entered the shop with a gun in his hand. We are told that the hoodlum, he put the gun to Kemarley's head and squeezed. Bam! Kemarley, he fell to the ground and the hoodlum, he ran out of the shop and made good his escape. Kemarley, he ended up dying on the spot. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, one 9mm spent shell was recovered from the scene. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Vlog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them knock out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, what a shame. But me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when me turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cancer and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica.